Welcome to the show, you guys. Have a seat, make yourself comfortable. You're going to love this guest. Today's interview with Erica Six. This episode, you guys, we had the best time chatting, or at least I did. I hope she enjoyed it as much as I did. Getting to know her, she is probably the purest, most authentic human being. Not only is she just personality rich, she's gorgeous. Like I couldn't stop. I just gravitated toward her whole everything that I saw on the screen. The hair, the face, the personality, and then she added that she's 5'11". Are you joking? Are you kidding me? I mean, like, give us something. How did you get everything? Like, seriously. But she was incredible. She's a great guest. I hope that I'm able to have her on sometime down the road because she's so open and honest and she provides so much value. And I was mad at myself because I was so excited in all of our topics that I think maybe I was a little too chatty. And my last guest, Hunter, whose episode aired last week, he's a podcaster. He said that I kept pulling back, and I kept pulling back because I feel like sometimes in the editing, at least my son tells me, because he's been editing all of my things over the last few weeks and he's amazing. He was there the whole time. Who knew? But he's like, Mom, sometimes it's hard to edit because you talk over your guest and I'm trying to pull what they're saying, but you're talking. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. Sorry, Erica, but oh my God, next time if I get another shot, because I would have loved to have heard more of you without me talking over you, but am giving too much personal story because it is not about me, it's about my guest. But you guys, I am a work in progress, and I appreciate all of you who watch, listen, follow, comment, subscribe, review, continue. Just don't give up on me. I swear to goodness, I will get better at this podcasting journey of mine because I'm not giving up. Alrighty, you guys, enough of the rambles because I am rambling. I will let you enjoy the show.
Hi, this is Erica Six, and you're listening to Trendy with Kim Allison.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Trendy with Kim Allison. And okay, y'all, today's guest is giving me main character vibes. And I say that because she's gorgeous, she's
Oh.
funny, and she's super talented with hair.
Oh.
Aw, she's like, but it's all true. And not just with hair, but low key, I think she should be an actress. I just do. Mm-hmm.
Hollywood.
But today I'm switching things up a little bit today, you guys. We're going to talk hair, of course, but a little bit of pop culture, plus all the things you're chatting about with your girlfriends. So, are you ready to get inspired? Erica Six, welcome to Trendy with Kim Allison.
Thank you. I'm happy to be here.
I'm happy to have you here, and your last name is the best.
Thanks. I know. That's why I'm not changing it, even though I just got married. So staying the same.
What would your married name be?
It would be Blake, which is a good last name, but it's like, how do you beat Six? I mean, I've lived with this last name for so long, and I mean, it's just very unique. So
where does it come? What's the origin of your last name, by the way? I don't think I've ever heard an actual real last name. Right.
I know it's
There's Nikki Six,
English.
but is that a real last name? Nikki Six?
It's my real legal born last name.
Love it.
It originated, I think it's like English as far as I know. So yeah, I mean, I know a few people. I think I met one person in my life that had the same last name as me, but that's it. It's pretty, I think, uncommon. So
now I know the celebrity, like I mentioned earlier, Nikki Six.
Yeah. I get that a lot.
Is that a real? We don't know.
I don't know about that one, to be honest.
I don't even know who that is.
X's.
Oh, got you.
Yeah, mine is just like the actual number spelling, so SIX, but I believe Nikki Six spells it with 2 X's. So I want to say that's a stage name, but I could be wrong. Should Google it.
How many times have you had to answer this question? Good God, you must be so over it. That's hilarious. So we talked a little bit before we went on about my obsession and my love for reality TV. I know
Mhm.
you probably don't watch it as much as I do. I know you're a Love is Blind girl. You did tell me that.
Good.
So I'm going to ask you the silliest question ever. But if your life was a reality show, what would it be called and what network would it be on?
Oh, pressure is on. Oh my goodness. I've actually been thinking about this because there was like an opportunity that I had with the previous business manager that we were kind of exploring, possibly actually trying to create something like this. But I want to say, I mean, I do a lot of things in my life. Obviously, I do hair, I do content, own a salon, and but I'm like very adventurous and I'm traveling a lot and I do a lot of fun things and have a lot of different kinds of friends. And so I feel like the name would be really hard for me to come up with right now on the spot. So I don't know, but I want to say the network, maybe like Bravo. I feel like
Ah,
Bravo's got a
yes.
lot of good reality shows, but
Bravo is my jam.
yeah,
Bravo and
they bring
Peacock.
it. They
Yes.
bring it for sure.
All
But
the
a
things.
name,
And yeah, so I mean, it's a hard thing to come up with on the
I
spot,
know.
right? I mean,
Yeah.
think of the name of a
I'm
reality
terrible with
show.
on the spot stuff, so
But
forgive me for
it is
like
a cool just something food for thought, something to think
yeah.
about. Now, who I'm gonna put you on the spot again and again and again.
Bring it.
Who, Erica, is a celeb? Because I have issues with this and I'm very verbal about celebrity. No offense, celebrity hairdressers, because I've done celebrity hair as well. It just to me doesn't look like anything. I'm sorry, it doesn't, but who's a celebrity whose hair you secretly think always looks a little off? And what would you do to fix it?
Ooh, there's actually quite a few that kind of
Mhm.
bother me. Oh gosh, I think it's the first one that comes to mind. This is kind of random, but I just saw a movie with Nicole Kidman in it or a show or something. And she's beautiful, right? Like there's no question. The woman is gorgeous, very naturally gorgeous, or maybe will help with like a little plastic surgery, but she's still
Just
like
a little.
with like no makeup on. I guess that's what I mean, like by natural. But I want to say my biggest like ick with celebrity hair is a lot of times these blonde tones, these very, very warm blonde tones, which can look right on the right skin tone, but she has more of a cool skin tone. So it
Yep.
kind of clashes with her quite a bit. And I just think it takes away from her beauty a little bit. So I've seen that with a lot of them, and I know why they're doing warm. They want to like brighten the skin and have it look healthy and beautiful, but it can just be like the wrong tone. And so she's one of the first person that comes to mind is she's in a very warm blonde, I think too much. So
I agree. I
yeah.
agree. I would take it. You're a colorist, so I'm more of a cutter and
Okay.
hairstyle. I go more with the hairstyles of
Cool.
celebrities. I just I mean sleek back and clip a ponytail on. l- I don't know. I Do you have to be a celebrity hairdresser to do that or can you
Oh,
do
I
that
know.
yourself? I don't know. It's just but that's just me. I
It is,
digress.
yeah, it is shocking. Like some of the hairstyles that you'll see on the red carpet or at these award shows, and you're kind of like, oh, that's very simple. I mean, it's insane. It does feel like a lot of people could do it.
Yeah.
So I think it's just creating the opportunity for yourself to be able to go do it if you would like to be on that
I think
level.
that's
But
more it. I think that's more it. Just the experience of being around celebrities and being the one that they call,
yeah,
right? It doesn't mean that you're the best hairdresser in the world. It just
yeah,
means that you have access,
yeah.
you know, which
And
is
you're putting
great.
yourself out there, like, you have to go, like, fight for those opportunities, and it's amazing, like, it's a lot easier to create opportunities, I've realized, like, in my life with certain things that I've achieved, like, you just sometimes have to ask for things that are
Yeah.
most people don't wanna ask for, and really just, like, put yourself out there and being vulnerable, to kind of be able to go do, like, those things, but it can be a
I
little
think that
nerve-wracking,
it
I'm sure, working with celebrities, though. I
Yeah,
think
oh
that's
gosh, yeah. I've worked with a few and
Mhm.
I rather work with everyday people, everyday
Yeah,
women, if I'm honest. For many reasons. I don't want to bash any
yeah,
celebrities, but they're a lot. And for what you get out of it,
yeah.
I don't know how much we get in return.
I know. I
Just
could
saying.
imagine some
You
of
know
them
what I
might not
mean?
be as grateful or have a level of expectation or something. Yeah. Very
Well,
demanding.
I had one I worked with for about 6 months who treated her dog better than anyone else in the room, but it's okay.
Oh,
Right? So
yeah.
we all get our little check and our little, you know, resume, something we can add to our resume, and we keep it
Yeah.
moving, don't we?
Absolutely.
And I will be going to the Behind the Chair Trends 2025 show in Miami at the end of the month for that reason, because I want to meet some celebrity hairdressers like Jonathan from Queer Eye. He's the, I
Oh.
guess, the keynote guest
Oh,
that,
really? That's
uh-huh.
awesome. So fun.
Yeah, yeah. All right, Erica, moving on. What's one trend on TikTok or IG that you wish would just go away already?
I'm assuming hair trend.
Correct.
Well, I don't know if it's still kind of circulating, but I know it was just kind of going around. It was the calico color, which essentially is, if you're a millennial or older, you know, it's really just that chunky highlight, but more with just those like the coppery black and kind of blonde tones rather than like the red. I feel like when the millennial days, it was more that bright red.
Yep.
So not a fan. Respect to anybody who enjoys those types of looks. I'm just not into it. Yeah, I'm like into, I think, very natural, luxurious, healthy looking hair that suits the skin tone rather than like you just trying to slap a beautiful hair color on somebody. I'm not really into the vivid hair colors anymore. And so, but I would say the calico hair trend was just a big, I don't like it.
I think it's not going to stay around long, right?
No, that'll be
Yeah.
very like it's in and it's out, I would imagine. And it's not for a lot of people. Not everybody is going to want to do that. And yeah, but that's like the first thing that comes to mind is that.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
I agree. 100%.
Is there one that you would like
It's
to?
it's one of a few, you know, the whole the blunt beach waves. I literally, if I never see them again, I'd be fine. And your hair is gorgeous, by the way.
Oh, thank
I
you.
love the tones. I love the way you have it styled, the cut,
Oh,
everything. It's that
thank
luxury
you.
look. Yeah.
I feel like this camera doesn't do it as much justice. I feel like each camera that I have, I'm like, oh, my hair looks completely different. So
Oh yeah.
yeah,
It's interesting, huh? Right? Because we know color
Mhm.
is a reflection of light. So
Totally.
depending on lighting,
Mhm.
especially blonde tones, they change.
Oh,
But yours
absolutely.
looks great right now. This lighting
Thank
is working,
you.
girl. I love
Thank
it.
you. I
All
appreciate
right.
it.
So before we move away from pop culture, my last question for you is, because you like Love is Blind, you're given a 5-minute makeover challenge. Your model
Mm.
is Vanessa Lachey from Love is Blind. What you doing to her hair?
Ooh, I think a cute collar, but I don't know what her haircut currently is right this second. But oh wait, it's a 5-minute makeover, so I can't do color.
You can't do color.
Oh,
You're
well,
going to
I
give
think
her a hairstyle.
okay, she does a lot of sleek hairstyles, I think, for the most part. So I feel like she would look really good with like a voluminous, like curled look, almost like tight curls. I feel like she could totally rock that. I don't know if that's what she has naturally, but I don't know. That's I feel like so
Like
opposite from
tight,
what
tight, full, like full, or like
I
these
like
kind of
very
curls.
mermaidy, yeah, almost kinda like your
Oh,
vibe, but, or just like a little bit looser even, but I've never really seen her with that kinda look, and I think she would look really cute with it, and if it's only a 5-minute, if I can't do color or anything, I guess that's like what I would do, maybe like a cute half up or something, but she wears a lot of sleek, and she looks good with it, but I think it would be nice to see her, like, rock something different.
I agree. I think she has a, you know, more of a round face.
Yeah, yeah,
So I love when her hair is long and when it's half
mhm,
up, half down. I think
yeah,
that's her look.
yeah, she's
Mhm.
beautiful. She's so
Oh,
beautiful.
stunning,
Yeah.
stunning, so gorgeous. They're so cute together, both of
I
them.
I
Cute
know.
couple. I
I have a
root for
fun
them.
fact about Love is Blind. Do
Ooh,
you want me to
tell
share
me.
it? Okay, so when it came to Seattle, which is my hometown, I was contacted by one of the casting directors to come on that show. They messaged me on every platform, text, called, emailed, Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook, any type of way of communicating with me. So to make it like look legitimate, right? And I did
Right.
call and I was like, well, I don't think my boyfriend, would appreciate it if I went on the show. So he was just like, okay, well, if you change your mind, we would love to have you. And it was just funny because like I did not contact them. So anyways, I could have been on the Seattle season,
Oh my
but
God, you would have been perfect on there too if you were single.
right. And I probably would have if I was single, but I'm like,
But a lot of people go on there anyway,
oh my gosh, it is
despite
really,
having a boyfriend or a girlfriend. I'm like, what's wrong with you?
yeah. I mean, kind of funny, but now my husband, we're married now, but he was like, well, do you want to go on the show? He's like, it would be good for your career. Like, we're kind of like joking. And it's like, people do that. And I personally would never want to be fake like that and then lead somebody on that really may be in it for love. And so
That's
I
true.
just could never, have that game. I have too much empathy and I just wouldn't feel good about myself if I did that. But it was just kind of funny because like I have friends that have done different shows for, boosting their career. And it does kind of work for, at least a little bit anyway. But
I think I love that. That's an amazing fun fact. My opinion on that is I think when you're authentic, that's the best place you could live at any given time in your life. Because even if you do it to boost your career, it can also destroy your career and your credibility. Because when they find out that you're a fraud, well, then it's not fun after that.
No. Yeah, I can't even
Right?
imagine going through that. I'm like, no, it's not worth it.
Because
No.
oh gosh, it was 2 seasons ago. Oh God, big beefy guy. It was the one with the girl that said she looked like Megan Fox. It was that season.
Oh my
They
gosh, that one was
roasted
so
his
bad.
ass.
That one was that had some uncomfortable moments for sure.
But the one that had a girlfriend on the reunion, they roasted him so bad that he said, "Can I leave now?" I'm like, "Oh my
I
gosh, that's
remember
terrible."
that.
And your city, Seattle, probably had that couple. They still drive me nuts.
I don't
What
even
is
remember
his
the
name?
names. Yeah.
Kwame and the blonde girl. He was singing to her. They made up a song. I couldn't. Anyway, I digress. I move on.
I hear you.
All righty. So that was fun. I love that. I'm trying to squeeze pop culture in somehow into the show. So I'm just
I love
kind of
it.
playing around with it. So thank you. I like how
Of course.
open you were and you're not afraid just to say it. I mean, it's what we
No.
think. It's just an opinion.
Right.
Right.
Absolutely.
All righty. So let's get into you, Erica, and your origin story. I always say we don't find hair, hair finds us. So how did hair find you?
So kind of funny story. My mom did hair, not in a salon, but she went to cosmetology school, but did it for friends and family. And so it was kind of like in my life from the time I was born. And I remember I always tell this story. I'm like, I think I was destined for it because I gave my sister her first haircut. I was 3 and she was like 1.5. And I took my
Hilarious.
mom's real shears. I took my sister to the dining room to hide from my mom. And it was like Edward Scissorhands. It was not good. Like let's just clear that up. It was not good. But I had practice. I didn't cut myself. I didn't cut her. But I always say that's kind of where it all started. I just apparently loved it so much that I was like, you know what? We're going to like move into this way of life. And yeah, I mean, I didn't actually go to cosmetology school until I was 25, 26. So I did kind of like do some other things prior to doing hair, but it did always kind of interest me. But I was like a big sports girl. So in some ways I wasn't like the girl growing up who was doing all my friends' hair styling wise. I was pretty simple, like, cause I played so much sports, but I did get girly as I like grew up a little bit. And then, or, girlier, I guess you could say, interested in kind of that way of life. But anyways, yeah, that's kind of where it all started for me.
Oh, that's funny. And what sport did you play, by the way?
I played basketball, soccer, and fast pitch.
Oh, wow. So you're tall.
Yeah, I'm 5'11".
Oh, Jesus. I am the opposite of you. Take one of those ones off, and that's me.
Oh, 5'1".
I know. It's like, oh, poor girl.
Yeah. I'd be
No,
towering over you.
and destined to be a hairdresser for sure because you had real professional shears at 3 years old and you didn't cut yourself or your sister. So.
Amazing. Yeah. It's amazing.
And I started at 26 as well. So yeah,
nice.
I had a different career. So I totally relate to that. what was your very first oops moment behind the chair, and how did you recover? And I will start that by telling you mine, so you
Okay,
know what
good.
I mean and where I'm
Yeah.
going with this. I was working at Tony and Guy, big place, right? We're all in
Yeah.
white. We got EDM music blasting, and it's when it first came to America. So this was a very new, different concept in Scottsdale, where I'm at, Arizona. And I'm at the front of this 40 chair salon, right? And we had to, like I said, we had to wear all white. And I happened to have on a white skirt with like a ribbon for a drawstring.
Mhm.
That's just the way it was designed. I'm just, twirling my irons and doing hair and all this stuff. Suddenly, I feel a breeze because my skirt dropped to my ankles.
Oh
And I
no.
literally, I have a hot tool in one hand, my skirt, it goes right down to the ground. I just reacted. I pull it back up. I'm like, oh my God. So that just happened. Okay, great. Amazing. So,
Oh my gosh, that's terrible. So everyone saw everything.
oh, 100. I turn around and the owner's son who was working behind the front desk, he was just like this. I was like, I know. What can I do? I, I, I only tied it in one bow. Why? Who
Oh my
knows?
gosh. I don't
Anywho,
know. Okay,
yes.
so what kind of moment did you call that? You call it an oopsie
It's
moment?
an oops moment, like, "Whoa, oops, and how did you recover?"
Well, all I keep thinking about is like wardrobe malfunctions, which I'm like, did I have any wardrobe malfunctions? An oops moment. I'm trying to think of
Oh my gosh, I've used,
my
regular shears in place of texturizing shears, like, "Oops, okay."
I mean, I guess the first thing that kind of comes to mind is I think it was like my first salon. I wasn't used to the shampoo bowls, and I thought that I had control of the hose. Well, it turns out I didn't, and I just soaked not just my client, but literally apparently everyone else that was in the line of fire. And so needless to say, I was super embarrassed. It was like a really nice salon, and I just was like, "Oh my God, I'm so sorry." Thankfully, it was water, so everyone dried and it was fine. But you're just like mortified
It's the
because
worst, isn't
it's just
it?
like you're like sweating. You're like, "Oh, please, why is this happening?" So that's the
No,
first
I
one that
get
I can
it.
think of. I know that I've had plenty in my career of like different things. Of
Oh
course, we've
my
all
god,
do.
I've been doing this so long, I have so many, it's ridiculous, like the we used to use Marcel irons in the oven at in my
Oh
day.
wow, yeah.
Yeah, and so I used to, because my grandmother was a hairdresser, she taught me how. I used to blow on them. I don't know, that was just my thing, blow it first and then use
Oh,
it. While I was talking, I
no.
literally yes, that happened. Stuck to
Oh,
my lips, I had to peel it off.
oh
Yeah,
my
it
God.
was a whole thing. Yeah, the
Oh,
salon,
you're
they thought it
killing
was
me.
funny, by the way, and it was.
Thanks, guys. Do you have a scar from that?
Oh, I didn't. Somehow I healed.
Your lips do actually, I feel like, recover pretty well. So that's good that you didn't have like a scar from it. That thing is hot.
Girl, yes, it
Wow.
was. Never forget it, never did it
Oh my
again.
gosh.
Tell
Yeah.
you that
No
much.
blowing on your Marcel's anymore.
No, don't do that. Don't do that. Alrighty, so let's share your work, Erica, so we can introduce our audience to what you do. So I'm not going to put the music on because it never lets me download it when I do that.
Oh,
So
yeah.
you can talk about what you're doing here.
So, well, I'm a blondine specialist, but I've been a hairstylist, So in this particular video, I'm actually just doing a like color swatch video that's just talking about how to create a like icy toner, but not in your typical way that you're going to be using like a violet base and blue base. It's actually going to be using all three of the primary colors to perfectly get an icy color. So it's an unusual way to approach it. Most people don't do it this way. I found it to be, I wanted to share this as just kind of like some education for hairstylists so you can kind of think outside the box. Or if you're out of your normal colors, you don't need the V to create this. You can do it with the primary colors. So this video did really well. I feel like, I think I posted this 2 different times and it definitely got a lot of engagement and it was fun to do. I'm using Redken Shades EQ to create this and they have a great like shade selection. And so, yeah, that's kind of what I'm doing in this video, just showing
And
you on 2 different levels.
please tell us how that's possible when I've only heard if you do all 3 primaries, it turns brown. Am I wrong?
So it's going to depend on your ratios.
Got you.
For sure. And we're working with level 9s here. So it's obviously much lighter than if you're working with, like 6, 5, 4, 3. If you're working with lower levels, you might get a little bit more of that like brown because now you're in the darker levels. But blue obviously is going to help create icy. But when you mix blue and red, that is what actually makes violet. And so that's how you're creating the violet tone that helps to neutralize the yellow in icy blonde hair. But the yellow is just helping it soften just a little bit. So it's not a lot of yellow, but it's just enough because blue is super dominating, and then it's red, and then it's yellow. So blue, it's like super dark with the blue molecule. So you have to play with the ratios just perfectly. So that way you don't have, it just be blue or just be violet. You got to balance the ratios. So hopefully that makes sense.
That makes perfect sense. Yeah. Yes. Thank you for that. All righty. Let's jump into this one.
Ooh, the wet balayage one. I loved this one. So this is a really popular service that, I don't do as many just like platinum blondes, white blondes, like a lot of solid ones or like solid ends, but I used to primarily do like these types of looks. Everybody's booked with me for these services, but wet balayage is incredible for creating a very quick, effective, and a little bit more gentle result when you are working with someone that's got mostly solid blonde ends or solid blonde ends. So I'll do the roots, I'll foil that, balayage that, whatever. And then I'm not necessarily pulling through the ends when I'm doing my foil work because she technically has been lifted. She just has mineral buildup. And our area is notorious for having incredibly bad minerals, which can give like a yellow orange result. So this is like one of my favorite things to do after, like I said, I've done my foil work, I'm doing my shadow root, and I'm able to get on a wet balayage in about 10 minutes. And I let it process for anywhere from 5, 10, 15, maybe up to 20 minutes. And I work with like a lower developer. So that way it's like super gentle, but effective. So as you can see, she was so much more, or she was brightened a lot more by doing this particular service. And you can do it at the shadow, or you can do it at the shampoo bowl, you can do it at your chair, whatever works, but you're able to work through pretty big sections. And working on wet hair actually helps to slowly open up the cuticle a little bit more. So it brings up the pH just a little bit. So that way it's actually more gentle when you're working with lightener. Instead of hair pH being at 5.5 and then going all the way up to like 11 or 12 with lightener, you're actually bringing the hair up to 7 by getting it wet. And then you're bringing it up a little bit more to that 11 or 12 with the lightener. So it's a little bit more gradual, and it's actually more gentle on the cuticle. So lots of great benefits for this type of service. It's amazing. Could not recommend it more. Just make sure you keep an eye on it. So that way you do not overprocess the hair. And you always just want to make sure that, because hair can lift really quickly. So you just have to really keep an eye on your wet balayage when you're doing it. But yeah.
Wow, that was a great explanation because as my questions popped into my head, you answered them.
Oh,
literally, like one after the other. I was like, okay, good. Like
awesome.
How much, lower volume, of course, developer, the timing that it takes at the bowl, because it's going to add more time to the service. And what do you charge for this extra refresh?
So I charge hourly. And so for me, if I'm doing this step, I would say total, it's going to be at least 30 more minutes, could be up to an hour if like they have a ridiculous amount of hair and I have to let them sit the full 20 minutes. But I would say it's going to be between like 160 and 200 additional cost for me to do this. But it's a really big impact, but that's just on top of my already like other fee for like the other part of the service. So I would say a lot of my blonding services, usually not under $500. Most of them kind of start, mine are a little bit more expensive. So, but corrections can be well over $1,000. There's a lot going on. This one cost, I don't remember. It was probably around like 600, something like that.
All right. I love it. I love knowing your worth. You go, girl. Okay. So let's chat about this one. Hold on 1 second. There we go. Oh, this is freaking funny because it is Kim's current mood. Right? I feel like, how many more ways do I have to perform just to do my job?
Yeah, this one was, one day I was just feeling it. I was like, 2020, this was in 2024, but it was like, this is so relatable to so many people because hairstylists 20 years ago, there was no social media, or it was like maybe just, it wasn't what it is today, right? It was like barely a thing, like with YouTube, I think. But it is so tough. It's so competitive in today's world. And if you want to like build your clientele and really, I don't know, just get yourself out there and be able to have opportunities, work with brands, do whatever, it's, you have a lot of jobs, you have a lot of hats. And so obviously content is just one of those things, but it's like hairstylists really do have such a hard job. I mean, we do so many things. Some of us are literally like our receptionist, our, bookkeeper, our content creator, like you're kind of everything in a way. You're entertaining, you're a therapist. And so I don't know, this video was just easy for me to create. And I felt like it resonated with a lot of people. So
No, absolutely did. That's the video that caught my eye. I was like, and then I started following you and I'm like, I have to talk to her. I have to reach out to her and have her on to have a chat with her because it's so fun watching your content.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah. And I was one of those hairdressers 20 years ago. And thank God I didn't have to rely on social media to build my clientele, or else I probably have 0 clients. I don't know. How long have you been in the business, Erica?
I have been doing hair professionally behind the chair in a salon since 2014. So about 11 years now, which is crazy. It sometimes feels like I just started, and then sometimes it just feels like I've been doing it since forever. So
right. And you said you were a salon owner.
What's that?
You said you're a salon owner.
Yeah. I've been a salon owner.
Salon?
It's Blonde Culture Salon.
Okay.
Yeah. And we're in Gig Harbor, Washington. And I've owned that for just over 2 years now.
Nice. Do you love it?
I do love it. It's it's only 6 chairs. It's like not too big. We have it's all independent hairstylists that are in there. So, it's like we feel like a team, a family, but technically they are their own business. And who knows, maybe one day I'll expand or get a second location or have some employees as well as, renters. I don't know. We shall see. I've been kind of thinking about that lately, trying to see like the direction that I want to go in for like just the salon ownership piece. So.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I enjoyed it. Back in the day, I've had salons, big ones, cool. Small ones. And I feel now I'm in studio life, salon suite life. I love it. Yeah. But I feel like I want to do it one more time, I think. But I also remember being chained to it, like literally was chained to my ankles. And I'm like, oh no, I don't know if I want to, but it was fun, rewarding. Loved all the girls. Yeah. It's a fun atmosphere to make it that way.
Yeah. And I think I'm in my era of like, I would love to mentor people more. I love educating. And I think it's like, it's really fun if you can, get a new person who just graduated or someone who's still really like hungry to grow and you help build them up. And I think as much work as it is, and that's why I didn't want to open up an employee commission salon a couple of years ago. I was like, I'm just not in that era of where I'm like wanting to take that on. But I think as I, get older and stuff, I'm like, it would be kind of fun, and maybe I'll just start with like one at a time and just kind of see how it goes. And I've just started working with an assistant again a little bit. And so, I forget how much I love, helping people. So.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is, I've done all of that. And now this is what I'm doing to do that.
Yeah.
I'm going to help you through listening to stories that may resonate with you in your journey in hair, right?
Yeah. I mean, I think that's what's so awesome about this industry is you can really make it what you want. And if you get sick of a big salon, you go to a suite for a while. And then if you get sick of that, you can go back. I mean, you're not just stuck. Like it's literally so customizable. And I think instead of like getting out of the industry, you just have to sometimes pivot and like customize what it is that you're looking for, whether it's your clientele, whether it's the services you're doing, whether it's the environment that you're in, like you need more education. It's usually, I feel like a lot of that's what you need to do. It's not just like you need to just get out of hair. I feel like it's just, you need to edit something. So you like it more.
Yeah. And I always feel bad when people say, I don't do hair anymore. I'm like, oh,
yeah, I know it's sad.
That's sad because it's so fun and rewarding, but you have to, I don't know, you have to be hungry for it all the time in order for it to be enjoyable. Right.
Yep. Yeah. And I think a
And
lot of
with
people, it's clients that can, as
yeah,
things happen with people, it can really weigh on you. And, people just mistreat you or whatever. Hairstylists have to put up with a lot. It's a
yes,
huge
we do.
demand, and people can sometimes not treat you very nicely. And that can make you feel like worthless. And you're just like, I just don't want to do it anymore because you don't want to
Yeah.
be talked to that way, or it hurts your body. But yeah,
I
struggles.
always say we have to deal with people's insecurities head on,
Yeah,
and they're not treating you. It's hard to say don't take it personal because the feeling is very real and it hurts, you know, but
definitely.
it really isn't you. It's
Yeah,
them and how they feel about
definitely.
themselves. And you're
Yeah,
just getting the brunt end of it because, you know, we identify part of our identity as women, especially, and a lot of men, is our hair. Whatever, if it's long, if it's short, what color it is, if it's healthy or not,
mhm,
whatever, right? Our best angles, we care about those things, right?
yeah,
So we put all that trust into the hairdresser's hands, and when whatever we create for that client, if it doesn't make them feel beautiful, right? We're responsible for that in their minds and really for us because it's our pride, it's our ego, and we did our best, you know? So
yeah,
yeah, that's
definitely.
psychologically a real thing. And
I
it's
agree.
amazing how many hairdressers that I've interviewed, some at the height of a hairdresser's success and they still suffer from imposter syndrome. So
I know.
I always tell new stylists, we all feel this way. It's not
Mhm,
just you,
definitely.
you know, at
Yeah,
different times in our career. Yep.
yeah, I
Oh
completely agree.
boy. So speaking of our clients, what's one trend clients are obsessed with right now, whether it's a color, a cut, or even a technique that you think they don't fully understand, or maybe they're using it the wrong way? Like, is there something you see all over Instagram that looks amazing in a reel, but in real life, it's not as practical, right? So, but they still bring you that inspo pic.
Oh,
For me, I will say Sabrina Carpenter bangs
mm,
are not practical. They're cute,
that's so cute.
but when you bring that picture in and you put it on you, and then you go to work at Sprouts or you go to work at Intel or wherever you work,
Yeah,
I don't think that's the most practical look, but that's me. What are
yeah.
your thoughts?
I completely agree. I feel like, yeah, bangs, or I've had clients like show me pictures of they don't style their hair much, right? Like I'm like, okay, so how do you typically wear your hair? Are you like gonna actually put some work into it? Because they'll show me pictures and I'm like, super cute, like lots of layers, lots of movement, nice bends, flips, and whatever. And I'm like, that's all great. But unless you style your hair, you're not gonna see that. And so it's like,
Right.
I think that's what I can think of, like off the top of my head of I've had that happen quite a few times. And so it can be unrealistic unless they want to put in that work. So
100%. Yeah, that's number one question. How much time do you spend doing your hair? Right?
yeah,
Oh, I like to be done in 10 minutes. Well, you can't have that. How
yeah,
about that?
yeah,
Right?
especially bangs and stuff, because it's like people have like wavy curly hair and they have a weird cowlick like me. It's like if I don't do something with this, it's like the weirdest looking, like I got these wings that fling out and it's just crazy. And I have clients that they don't want to do a lot of that. And I'm like, well, your bangs will not look like that. Like they will not
Right.
have that nice, perfectly like voluminous and like swoop or like Sabrina Carpenter kind of vibe. It's gonna be like crazy. So
Crazy. And
yeah,
then they think they want it. Like, "Oh, can I want these butterfly bangs." And you're like, "Do you though?
yeah,
Do you know what you're gonna have to do with those butterfly bangs to get them to look
yeah.
like you think you want them to look?"
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yep.
Do you feel pressure to keep up with social media trends, or are you kinda just carving your own lane?
Some days I can feel a little bit of pressure, but I would say I think I genuinely still love what I do. I can have
Mhm.
moments, whether it's like a day or a couple weeks, where I'm like just not in that
Yeah.
zone. This last year, I've taken a huge step back from social media in the way that I
Mm.
was posting because I was getting married and I had like a wedding reception to plan in Maui and then a whole nother reception that we're doing in a couple months. So it's been like a lot. And I just wanted to focus on some different things. But to get back to the question, it's
And
like,
congratulations.
oh, thank you. Yeah,
That's
it's
amazing.
been great. It's been really great. And I think, you know, I've spent so much time on social media, like
Yeah.
literally every moment was like creating content, editing content, engaging with content. Like it was just consuming. And I love it, but I needed balance. I'm trying to balance my life. I'm trying to like get help. But for the most part, I'm still very hungry to continue to evolve, like as a stylist, as a content creator, an educator, like salon. I'm always just kind of like, I want to keep up.
Yeah.
I haven't really hit that wall where I'm just like not interested. I'm genuinely still interested. And I just want to provide like the best experience for all of my clients, like the best hair, and continue just to evolve myself because I like growing. I like change. So hopefully that continues and I don't feel like I just don't want to anymore. But I have a lot of goals, so I don't foresee that happening. I think I'm gonna like, yeah, keep going.
Oh,
So
I think that you have just begun your social
yeah,
media career, girl. You are
yeah.
crushing it for
Thank
sure.
you. Yeah. Yes.
Um, yeah, social media, Erica, how much time are you spending? Like for those that want to model themselves after you, is it just a part of your new cadence and your DNA? Like you're just always it's 24/7, or do you
So
have boundaries?
so I would say it's changed. So if you would have if we would have done this podcast just over a year ago, I would have said it was like pretty much part of my everyday. Like if I wasn't behind the chair, I was probably working on something. And it's because I was just like super driven to like I had a lot of goals with why I was doing it and I've achieved everything that I've wanted to, so it worked. But it was just it wore on me and it started becoming unrealistic to keep up with after 2 years of it. It was
Mhm.
like, you know, I would go into the salon and sometimes be filming content until midnight and,
Ooh.
you know, on a Sunday, if that's the only time that I had. And so it was, you know, that's doesn't really make sense to do that forever. And it was like for a while, like, okay, cool. But now I'm in my I need balance era. Like I'm probably gonna just post like maybe 4 times a week or something right now. And I would say now it's like maybe also I'm trying to get help with delegating a few things. So I'm actually sometimes we'll throw something to someone that helps me with my like she'll come in like social media person. She's
Yeah.
a client of mine. And so sometimes I'll just say, oh, can you actually edit this one reel for me? I don't have time.
Oh,
Or I'm working on these other ones. Here's like the vision that I have and I'll make sure that it looks good and that it feels like me. But I'm starting to get some help with that because I just don't want my life to be consumed by it. But I do love it. And so I would say from an hour perspective, I mean, it's definitely probably like a couple hours a day, maybe tops that I'm like doing something, whether it's filming, editing, and that's just on average. So to me, that doesn't feel like a lot. It feels very doable because what I was doing before was way more than that. So
yeah, way crazy.
yeah,
Yeah. 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 I mean, if you want to be a full-time content creator, that's one thing. But if you are also running a business
yeah,
while using content creation as a distribution to drive traffic to your business, that's another thing.
yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
if I were a full-time, I would love to be a full-time content creator. I have endless ideas. Ideas are the easiest
Yeah.
thing for me is I have like a list of probably 500 different things that I've thought of, you know, throughout the day that I write down. And so it's just making the time for filming and editing and then figuring out how you want to post it and all that stuff. That's like where the more time consuming part is. But I love it. I could totally do it full time. I love it that much. But obviously when you have different other hats that you wear, it's just I only have so much time. So
No, I totally get that. And
yeah.
I'm going into more of a full-time content creation world doing this podcast
Yeah, I
because
love it.
I'll be retiring. I mean, I've been 29 years is a long time to
It's
do hair.
awesome though.
You know,
Yeah.
but it's still fun. It doesn't feel like 29 years at
Mhm.
all, you know,
Goes
but
quick. Goes
it
quick.
don't it though. It does.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I love that. Thank you for those tips.
Yeah.
Because I think a
Well,
lot of times people see content creation and they either underestimate the efforts or overestimate the efforts, if
yeah.
that makes sense, you
And
know?
Absolutely. I will say too, there are ways to make content creation easy. I don't always pick the easy content creation ideas. Some of mine require a lot of effort into coming up with the concept. How do I want to film it? Like get different angles or like the text on screen. Like how do I want to the style of the video to be? But a B-roll video, for example, takes absolutely no effort. Like you set
Hmm.
up a tripod, you can, do your little thing, put some text on screen, and boom, there's a video in under like 10 minutes.
Oh,
So it just
wow.
kind of depends on what you want. I believe in variety for sure. Like to me, if you only had B-roll, that's a little bit boring. I think you need to mix it up. But I will say there's much easier ways to simplify it. So depending on how much time someone has, you can do easier concepts so that way you actually can post instead of just being like, I can't do it. I don't have 6 hours every day to do that. You don't need that. You can literally
Yeah.
simplify it. So
Do you believe in content or social media managers and the whole business of managing one's content? Because I've had hits and misses, more misses with that, just in using a third party to help with the channel. I find that I'm so maybe I'm just too controlling, but I need it to be my point of view, my voice, and I don't feel like it ever is if someone else is doing it.
I think it would have to be the right person. You have to have,
Yeah.
I think it's like a relationship that's not going to be good from the start. It's going to be like an evolution. And I think you have to
Yeah.
be, they have to know the right questions to ask so that way you can provide the right answers. And they have to really understand you as a person, what the vision is, what your goals are, what you do for a living, and make sure that it just, yeah, it's not what they want, it's what you want, but like, just put a nice spin on it or whatever. So I think not everybody is going to be a fit. It's going to be like finding a therapist. Not every therapist is a good fit. You have to like try different people or really just get super detailed in conversation with them so they can try to understand you. Or like if let's say they do a video for you, you might have to make some edits. It might be like a lot of back and forth, like, okay, you need to change this, this, and this. I've had different people, a couple people edit videos just to see, because I've always been like, I'm too controlling. I have a vision. I know what I want. It's hard to articulate it, but I'm like, you know what? It would be nice to have some help. So let me just try it out. And it took a lot of back and forth, but then I finally did get the vision. Was it worth it? I don't know. I mean, it's like sometimes there's so much communication that it's like, should I have just done it?
Uh, that is my thoughts exactly, which is why I'm on my own
But
current,
if you're not picky,
Yeah.
I'd say like you're probably going to be great. But again, if
Yeah.
you're picky, like maybe us, we're picky,
Yep.
it's going
Yep.
to be a little bit harder to find that right person.
Yeah, and I know my content isn't perfect yet, but you know what? I'm learning as I
Yeah.
go, and I'm stronger than I was before, and I figured whoever is following me or wants to follow along in the journey, they'll understand and they'll see the evolution, which I think is much more rewarding than having it perfect to start.
Yeah. And what's
Yeah.
perfect? I mean,
Yeah.
really, like everybody starts somewhere. And I think the key thing is starting. You need to put
Yeah.
stuff out there
Gotta do
because
it.
you can't grow. And I mean, like if I go back to my first reel, I mean, it took
Yeah.
me like 6 hours to film a 30-second
Yeah.
video.
Same.
Just did it over and over and over. I couldn't have anybody watch me. I was like, not even my, now husband. I was like, get out of the room, like get out of the room. Now I can literally film in a super public area, and I'm like, whatever, like
Yep.
enjoy.
You get more comfortable as
Yeah,
time goes on, don't you?
you really do.
What's something about your career or salon life that people would never guess?
Well, I grew up very shy and introverted. I mean, this is like more like personality and stuff, but most people don't think that I would be self-conscious, shy, like introverted. I've tried becoming more extroverted and stuff. So I feel like that's kind of more personality. People might be shocked at that. Salon, I'm not sure what a good answer for like something would be. I don't know, something for the salon.
I think your personal perspective, you pretty much nailed it.
Yeah.
That because I wouldn't have guessed that you were introverted.
Yeah, I've become more extroverted. Like, honestly, I always like when I'm with my good friends, I could be like, I was super like life of the party, blah, blah, blah. But like in new situations, sometimes I can like revert back to like my old insecure, childlike self. It's like, insecure and just shy and just not wanting it. And I've like had to really work on, like, I've always admired people that could just be like talking all the time to, talking like public speaking and all that stuff. And I'm like, I want to be able to do that. So honestly, creating content and getting comfortable looking at myself, hearing myself. And, I've taught on stage, and it's like, I always hated talking with a microphone. It just made me cringe. And like, now I've done it a bunch of times. And so with all of those experiences, it really has made me feel more confident. So it's been a really, honestly, amazing thing. It might sound really cheesy and stuff, like, okay, content changed my life, but it really did open up this other part of me that I had not been able to access without doing this. By being vulnerable, it's been a lot. Like, I've had just this newfound strength, and it's just been really fun. So I'm like, honestly, it can be great.
No, I'm all like, get out of my head. I'm serious. Like, everything you're saying is my story. Just that shy kid, afraid to raise my hand, always knowing the answer, always being the underdog or feeling like an underdog in situations, right? In the cool girl group, but not cool. That was me. And so I say, with doing this show, I think hairdressing period was the best thing that ever happened to my just ability to break out of that shyness. And I have one son and a grandson who they have the shyness, and I'm like, it's a curse. It's a disease. Like, seriously, can I just, like, Back to the Future, can I just tell you now to stop? Right? Because it's stifling. And so I say I am an introvert doing very extroverted things with doing this show. And so, because when I listen to these interviews back, I'm like, if your voice, Kim, was just not in it, it would be so much better.
Oh my gosh, no, I know the feeling, but no.
You know what I mean? I'm like, I'm so sick of hearing myself. I can't even stand it. So thank you for sharing that, because that definitely resonates with me for sure.
I think it does with a lot of people. And that's why, like, whenever I've done, different interviews or something, and it's like, I always share that. It's like, because that's usually people's number one reason. Oh, I can't do that. Like, I don't like this about myself. I'm too shy. And like, I was like, and now look at me, like, it's no fear anymore. Sometimes a little bit like, ooh, like that butterfly feeling. But you just do it anyways, because the more you do it, the better you feel. So
I love that. And then to have a jokester husband like I have, anytime I replan an episode and he's mocking me, I'm like, okay, you're amazing. No. Love you. Anyway, so let's go into our final segment. What's one belief or mindset shift that changed how you show up as a stylist? I think you just answered it.
I mean, I could even add to it. I feel like,
do share.
Just left my brain. Hold on. Well, I guess there's no perfect. There's not just an end result of like, let's see, how do I want to phrase this? So there's no one who's perfect in this industry. No one is capable of doing everything perfect every single day. We are human. We make mistakes. Not every person is going to like us, and that's okay. Knowing when to say no, knowing that you're going to have some bad days, you're going to make mistakes, but it's okay. And it's just how you grow from those that really help you. And just don't beat yourself up, because I know I have, and I've learned that, well, basically those things I just shared, it's like, there's no way to like be perfect and to be able to do everything. So having that understanding has definitely changed my outlook on being a stylist, because I was so critical of myself. I have to be perfect. And a lot of us have that perfectionist mindset, and it's not possible. Like, you have to try to let that go, because you're never going to meet it. So you're always going to feel defeated. So if you can let that go, you're going to be a much happier person, much happier stylist, and it can be more fun that way. So
no, that's great advice. Is that what you would have told your younger self coming into the industry?
Yeah.
Those words? Yeah. So for anybody out there who is new in this beauty industry, take that to the bank, because 100% I agree with you. Like you, and I think too, to add to that, is you almost have to pay attention, but drown out all the noise at the same time, because you will feel like you have to know how to do everything perfect. Because
Yeah.
if you follow people, now we have these platforms of voices. We have so many voices in our heads that we really don't even know how to land our plane. You know,
Mhm.
we're like, okay, well, let me start. We don't finish anything because we're constantly starting something new because we're distracted that quickly, right?
Yep.
Just the scroll, and all of a sudden now I'm looking at blonding, and then I'm looking at brunettes. Now I'm looking at extensions. Now I'm looking at a haircut,
Yep.
you know, and you want to do it all, but we have different personalities. We have different desires. We have, you know, there's so many things that are variables involved that you can't possibly match someone else's energy to a T.
Yeah. And I would say
You know?
another thing I just thought of was something else that I think a lot of people don't realize is, a lot of us can do good hair, right?
Yep.
Countless thousands of people that do amazing blondes, amazing brunettes. But the way that you can like create a following, recognition, whatever you
Yeah.
want to call it, opportunities, grow your clientele, become an educator, all of those things is by putting yourself out there on social media, authentically you, being vulnerable, sharing your personality, because our personalities are how we're different. And so that's what I've done. It's like I recognized that a few years ago and I was like, you know what? I'm just going to show up as me because no one else is exactly like me. And it's worked for me. It's like done so many amazing things for me. And that's why I will continue to do it. So that's
Yeah.
another piece of advice that I would give someone is like, put yourself out there as you are, because you're going to attract that. So,
Yeah, and it's going to be no different than in life. Not everybody's going to like you. Not everybody's going to understand where you're coming from. You're not for everybody. So what?
right. Yeah.
Right? They don't have
That's
to
it.
watch. They don't have to listen, right? All righty. Before we get to my favorite part of the show, which I call the 60-second blowout, which is my rapid fire. In one sentence,
Hmm.
how would you describe your relationship with beauty outside of the industry? Do you have a healthy obsession with beauty or a sickness like I do?
Oh, one sentence, huh? Okay.
Good luck.
Hmm. God, this is so hard for me to answer. I can be both at times. I would say I try to have a healthy perspective on beauty, but I can be critical of like myself. And I work at it every day to be healthy. I know this is not one sentence, but like I don't know. It's like,
I mean, it doesn't have to be.
yeah, I would say I do my best to try to have a healthy relationship with beauty, but I do kind of have some problems, I would say. I can be really critical of myself for sure.
Yeah, I think women in general, because you know, you have the Demi Moore movie, The Substance. Is that what it was called? The Substance.
I don't know.
Yeah.
So
And did you see it?
I can't think of that movie. I mean,
Okay.
I know.
It was the one that she was recently nominated for
Oh,
an
it's
Oscar.
newer?
Yeah, you should
Oh, I
watch
haven't
it.
seen it. Okay, I'm gonna
Yeah,
watch
it's
it. It'll be
about
on my watch.
women and our perception of beauty
Okay.
and with regards to aging. And
Mm,
without giving it away, it's an independent film, so it's a
okay.
little, you know, campy.
Yeah.
But and people say, "Oh, it's scary." It's not scary. It's gory. That's different than
Oh, okay.
scary. But
Yeah.
basically, what it is we get older, right? And the beauty fades and the opportunities fade. You start to feel a little invisible, or at least my stage of life at I'll be I'm 57, I'll be 58. So I'm right there, right? Where Demi Moore, the character is. And you have an opportunity, because this is futuristic, to create a young version of yourself where
Oh.
you both can exist in the same world, but not at the same time.
Oh,
And
interesting.
it is very, very interesting because you literally have a week. You have 7 days to be the young you, and you have 7 days to be where you are now. And you have to clock out to let that one clock in. But which part of you is going to win, because it's going to destroy you if you deviate from the plan.
Wow.
It is
That sounds
very
really interesting.
it's really interesting, especially with women, because you we God, we destroy ourselves in our brains. You
Really.
know, you have people tell you, "Oh, you're beautiful," and you're like, "Oh, no, I'm not. Like, I'm not beautiful. I have
Mhm.
this wrong, that wrong, da da da." I mean,
Yeah,
we watch our clients do it every day,
I know.
right?
Mhm.
It's
Yeah,
hard to watch, but we
yeah,
do.
yeah.
All
And I
righty,
was trying to
so
hype people up, but yeah,
oh, yeah, I gas people up all the time, whether I mean it or not.
yeah.
I just do. All righty, so let's get to our rapid fire, have some fun before we close.
Okay.
I'll set a timer for 60 seconds and then we go. So get ready, girl.
All
See
right.
how well you know yourself. You know yourself better than we do, so this should be easy.
Hopefully.
Okay. Dry shampoo or sleek bun?
Dry shampoo.
Who's your celeb hair crush right now? Nobody?
Uh,
One hair trend you think is overrated?
the sleek bun.
Go to coffee or order.
Lavender cold foam matcha.
TikTok or Instagram reels?
Reels.
Favorite reality TV guilty pleasure?
Love is blind.
Best era for hair, 90s, 2000s, or now?
Now.
Blowout or braids?
Blowout.
Client shows up 30 minutes late. Cancel or squeeze them in?
Squeeze them in.
Song that gets you hyped for a long day behind the chair?
Anything like old school, like early 2000s.
All right.
Pitbull.
Now, to show our audience how humble you are, make your silliest selfie face.
Oh my God.
Ah,
Okay, let's see. Like silliest,
silliest.
not like trying to be cute.
Not well, hey, whatever your silliest selfie face is, this is you being humble. So you're not, yeah, there you go.
Oh my
That's
God, I love it.
amazing. I love that. Where can the audience find you, Erica? What are all your handles?
Yeah, it's Instagram, Erica6Style. I am on TikTok. It's Erica6, just with the numbers, or I'm sorry, with the word spelled out. And I'm on Facebook too. I think I have some other ones, but those are the primary. But hopefully YouTube channel is coming this year. So
Oh, I love that. And the name
yeah,
of your salon again?
Blonde Culture Salon,
And you're located in?
Gig Harbor, Washington.
Perfect. You're amazing. Thank you so much for coming on. And hopefully
Thank you.
I can have you on again somewhere down the road.
Yeah, this was so fun. Thank you so much. This was great. I can't wait to watch it back.
All right. Until
Okay.
we meet again. Bye.
Okay. Bye. Thank you.